second episode of the Rig Rundown. I'm your host, Pete, and I'm joined today from ForeignWolf. We've got Dave.
Hey, how's it
coming
going?
here. How's it going? Yes,
good,
good, man. Coming to talk to us about all things ForeignWolf and everything we've got going on there.
Oh, joy.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. So how's it going, man? All good?
It's going well, man. It's going well.
Brilliant, brilliant. Yeah, so you're here. Who's missing? Jared, Connor, Justin, and Max?
Just Jared, Connor, and Max.
Jared, Connor, and Max. Okay.
Just unfortunately, he left.
Oh, okay.
That's why we're looking at a new guitar player.
Yeah, so you're looking at a new guitar player. I've seen that. You're advertising online.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, is there anything you want to put out there while you're talking here? What you're looking for?
If you play guitar, come and say hello.
Yes. Okay.
We're not fussy.
Not fussy. Anyone will do.
Yeah.
Brilliant, brilliant. Cool. Well, Iman, so you started ForeignWolf in 2019.
Mm-hmm.
What were you doing before that? I know you were in various other bands.
Me and well, if I'm going way back, you would probably know me from when it was like Altus.
Yep.
And then that ended, and then I moved on, so I didn't play anything for about a year, and then Jared was in like a pop punk band called Cartier City.
Cool.
And they were looking at guitar players, so I joined in. We did that from, it's like 2014 to 2017, something like that. And then it disbanded. And then we went another year where we weren't doing anything. And then ForeignWolf kind of started early 2018.
Cool.
It was me, him, and I don't know, Aaron Cushioning, would you know him, Afro?
Yes.
Yeah. So he was originally the drummer.
Okay.
And it sounded nothing like what it sounds like now. It was very sort of like Highly Suspect, if you've ever heard of them. That was the kind of thing we were going for. That sort of grungy, but a wee bit more poppy.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Is there any recordings of this anywhere?
Yes, there are, and they're...
Is it on like Spotify or what?
No. We do have videos of like when we were rehearsing in the old Bearcat room in Blackstaff. And that's kind of where the first EP came from.
So that's what evolved into ForeignWolf?
Pretty much, yeah. So we had a bunch of people come back and forth. And then Justin came in as bass player at that point. Yep. And then Sean O'Neill came in. He was the original drummer.
That's right.
And we started playing about and we got a little bit heavier. So the first 3 songs on the EP were very much early days, and then we came to Breathe, which was when we learnt that Jared could actually scream and do the sort of harsh vocals and stuff like that. And then COVID.
Oh yes, everyone's favorite.
So we had just released, and I think we had played 1 or 2 shows, and then that was it. It was done. Couldn't do anything. Sean had left. And then we were sort of sitting going, well, what do we do? So we decided we'll just start pushing it online. And I think that was something that we'd never done before. You know, we were too used to sort of getting up and going out and playing live. And just that's sort of how we released the music.
That's actually something I was going to say to you. You seem to have this massive following online. Like your plays on Spotify, your numbers are huge.
Yeah.
You're doing really, really well there.
That came... way later.
That came later, obviously.
That came later with...
But you find that help when it came to taking it to that next level, having that online presence already?
Yeah. So again, it was something that we had never really tried to do. So the first EP was essentially released online, and then it was about a year and a half before we actually got to play the songs live, which was bizarre.
It's like that as well, yeah. I've been in bands before where it seems like forever till you actually get to play, but when you finally do, it's worth it in the end. All the hard work's paid off. And
I think at that point, that's again we were very surprised. The first show we went out to play was in McHugh's basement, and there was people there.
Brilliant.
But they knew the songs, and we'd never played these live before, and we went down and we played this show, and we were gobsmacked. You know, it was just like, okay, someone's actually listened to the music. And again, it was just because all we could do was push it online.
And this was after pandemic?
Yeah.
Yeah, did you notice people sort of appreciated being able to
big
get out
time.
again?
It was amazing, and that has carried
They
on.
brought in like ticketed shows, and shows were
Yeah.
selling out.
It was just incredible to see that, and I said I think that stood
Almost
since
felt
then, because every show we've played, doesn't matter if we're headlining or we're opening or whatever it is, there seems to just be a crowd for the bands that are playing.
Yeah.
They're not necessarily just coming to see us or coming to see the headliner; they're just coming out to play music, which I thought was I love seeing that now. Because before that it was just a struggle. But yeah, no. So we Sean had left, and then we auditioned Mick.
Okay.
With, I think the first time I met Mick was the first rehearsal practice, because we still couldn't rehearse.
Yeah.
We weren't allowed to go down to a room or anything like that. So Mick had sent us videos of him playing our songs, and we just went, yeah, well, you'll fit in nicely. So, but I never met him. It was Justin knew him, Jared kind of knew him, and first time I met him was our first rehearsal together. And then so we released the next EP, which again started going a wee bit heavier.
So where did you do that EP? Who did you record it with?
We have recorded everything with Josh and JSR.
Yeah. Okay.
Everything from day one. I've known Josh a long time, like back to even Cartier City. Like we shot one of the music videos we did. We shot, it was like a Fight Club music video for Cartier, where we rented this. It was down behind TK Maxx in Belfast, where it was like this art studio, and we went in, and like there was like proper disclaimers and stuff had to be signed, because rather than trying to fake the fight, we were just like, "Are you okay to take a punch?" Yeah, right. Sign that. Jared ended up getting a busted eye.
Nice.
But Josh was there. So
Was Josh fighting anybody?
no, I mean we tried. There was a couple of people. We had like a actual professional MMA guy came down.
Sounds awesome.
He was friends with Carl, who was doing the video,
Yeah.
and yeah,
Carl Quinn?
yeah.
Was it? Yeah. Oh, he did Arquidos when he's total pro. Like,
he's sick.
nice.
It was the first professional like music video we'd ever done. And I was like, okay, this is like, there's direction and heat lighting and stuff. It was like, okay, this is proper.
The way to go. Nice one, dude.
But yeah, no. So everything's been done with Josh. No matter what room he's been in, we just went to him. To the point now where I think the rig I have, he just has it like completely modeled in a system. So I literally just bring a guitar home and plug it in and go,
into his.
"Can you make me sound like me, please?"
Fucking right, man. Yeah. I was going to say, he seems to have profiles built for bands. Like, we've all got our own individual amp profiles now as well, designed by Josh. That's pretty cool. Yeah, he's got a lot of tricks he pulls out.
He's brilliant.
Yeah. Nice one, dude. Okay. So then, you're talking about getting to record with Josh. So your last single you did, Faceless. When did you do that?
That was done a while ago. So that would have been with our third drummer. So our now current drummer, Max. That was the first song we did with him. So in, what even year are we in? So he came in 2023. So 2022, we had actually went in and we'd recorded 3 singles, but without vocals.
Okay.
And the idea was we were going to take it away, actually listen to the recorded track, and then try and make vocals fit the music a bit better.
Yeah.
Just a new approach. And then we did nothing with them because Mick then left to go off and do some new stuff. And we were sort of sitting again without a drummer. So there's like an ongoing the curse of,
Like Spinal Tap.
yeah, honestly, it's just like
Revolving drummers.
the drummers come and go. We're trying to keep this one, we like them. So we had these 3 tracks and we'd never done anything to them. So it was like, must have been April, May or something. We decided, right, we'll go in and we'll record vocals.
Yep.
So we started releasing those tracks, and we'd yet to write or record anything with.
So the music was written all itself without any idea of what you were going to sing for it at all. And that was unusual. You always did it the other way around first. You always had like sort of a chorus.
Yeah, we were going in
first.
80% knowing what we were doing,
Yeah.
vocal wise, everything. It was just sort of tidying it up when we were in with Josh.
Okay. So a new approach, just pure riffs.
Yeah, it seemed to work because again, it sort of allowed Jared that sort of.
It does actually feel like your new songs are very riff based.
Yeah,
You can almost like you can tell you were more concentrating on, jamming, headbanging than thinking of some awesome words to sing, which do come in later.
So we went back in with Josh to record the vocals for that, and then we sort of thought, Max isn't on these tracks. We need to do something with him.
Yeah.
So we went back and we started writing, and then that's where Faceless came from. It was done very quickly. I think we booked in with Josh before we had written it.
Okay.
To sort of put a bit of a deadline on us.
Yeah, right.
To sort of...
Did it help? Did that...
Oh, yeah, no, it did. But when I say it was a week. Right. So
fuck.
on the Monday, we booked in with Josh for the Saturday, Sunday, and we had the sort of the bare basis to it, and then we just went, right.
Well, it sounds like the approach paid off. I don't know about yourself. Anytime I've been doing it, it's like, right, first of all, we have the demo, and then we have the vocals, and then there's a bit of back and forth on that, and then when we're all happy with it, then we'll book the studio, and then we'll get the money, and then we'll, you know what I mean? But see, just booking it and just being like, fuck it, let's go. It's end of the week. Hurry up. That's a nice approach.
I think if we don't do that, and I think that's sort of
kind of makes it a bit more exciting though as well.
It's a new mentality. Yeah. We've sort of going. It means we don't procrastinate and sit about and do nothing. It's like, oh, we've paid for this. We
need to move.
We're going in 2 weeks.
Been there as well though, where we've been in the same situation and had to cancel the studio because it's like we didn't actually get anything. Shit can go the other way too, but that's class, and it is brilliant. Faceless.
Thank you.
It brings you on then your next single, which is already out on Spotify.
Yeah, yeah.
Extinction.
Yeah.
Did you didn't record that when you did Faceless?
No.
So, but did you do the same thing with booking the time and then it's setting yourself the task of doing the song?
Why did we do Extinction? I'm trying to remember actually what we did, because we had recorded it before we went on tour, so it must have been late 23, maybe January this year.
Yep.
And we went in and we recorded it. What did we do after that? And then went on tour. That's what it was. So we went on tour, and then the plan was we were going to release it before we went on tour and then use the tour to help promote it.
Brilliant.
But then we didn't do that.
What happened? Did tour fall apart? Or?
No, tour went ahead.
You went on the tour?
I think
it was the single then?
I don't know why we didn't. Something, I remember something happened. Whatever it was, something happened. And then we came back from tour, and then it got to the point where we were like, we need to be doing something with either this single, or then the idea was we were going to do a music video for Faceless, which we did. But when we came back from tour, the idea was we were going to release Extinction, and then that's how we were going to drive it, and then we were going to record more. But opportunity after opportunity just kept coming up. So we had our headline show in Belfast in the OES Centre, and we had originally planned to do a live recording of it. And whatever happened on the night, I'm not getting into the specifics of it.
Yeah.
Let's just say I wasn't a happy chappy.
Oh dear.
We had to cut the show short, so we were meant to be playing for an hour, then we had to cut it to about half an hour, so we lost half the songs.
Something overrun or technical logistics.
Yeah. And then the stems that we got back, we'd sent them through to Josh, and I don't know if there was a line issue or what was happening, but it just didn't pick up as clear as we wanted it to. So we thought, right, we'll shelve that idea for now.
Just like too muddy or too fuzzy or
a bit of everything. Sort of weak signals sometimes, and I think a lot of it maybe came down to us as well.
Maybe gaining too hard on stage or something. That sometimes you have to
potentially
play with it a lot to
because
get it just
right. John, who's the sound guy, I know. Yeah, he was brilliant. We had talked to him on the lead up to it, and when we arrived, he was so prepped. And he had everything, and he had our stage plot, and he knew where everything was going and stuff like that. Yep. So I think just things that happened on the night completely out of maybe his control. I don't know, but he was lovely about it anyway. He sent everything through, and it just didn't go the way we wanted it to go.
I'm sure it's a learning thing. I did a thing before as well. We had a live sound recorded in the pavilion back in Alaskan Death Jacket, back in 2010, and fucking guitarists cranked their amps right up, so the sound guy didn't have any amps coming through the system, and we got a really good recording of it, but it was just all drums, bass and singing because there was no guitars coming through because they just turned them up. So you know what I mean, you got to play with it
Yeah.
You're never going to get it right just winging it first time. You got to sometimes take all this shit into account. Sometimes what you're doing on stage will affect what's going to be taken on the desk.
But I said, so then we had other plans, and then we got offered Mandela Hall.
That's class, man. Was that the one
With
James?
No. So this was with Queen's itself. So they offer a thing called levels, which is basically they look out for bands that are sort of on that precipice of going to like, maybe the next step or whatever they consider
doing
it.
really well locally.
It was actually
Like a showcase, is it, of all different styles and stuff? Is it?
They tried to keep it a bit heavier. Normally, we were levels 10, so it was the 10th one they'd done. Cool. 1 to 9. When you went back and looked at it seemed to be very indie and mellow and.
Okay, so maybe they work around different things every night.
We had done a few shows in the Queen's Union, and it was the sound guy for Queen's had actually emailed us. And originally when he emailed us, I thought he was wanting us to play the Union again, which I was like, happy days, this is great, we'll go up. So we're like, hold on, that says Mandela Hall.
Brilliant.
And we were headlining it as well. So again, I took the sort of initiative and went, we're going to record this one.
Yeah, dude, and that's how you did your video, because you're doing the gig anyway. You just bring...
So we're going to record this live. I had a full setup that I was able to bring with me.
Do it yourself, yeah? Or just bring a crew?
No, did it himself. And everything was grand. Got it all set up. Again, the sound guys were fantastic. They gave me direct lines for everything. And then something happened.
Yeah.
And we don't know what it was. But whenever I got back and had sent through the stems again to Josh, I don't think the bass had come through.
Oh shit.
And I don't know if it was they maybe changed the patch or we changed the patch or I had put it in the...
It's just gone.
Somewhere along the line, I had maybe not plugged something in that was meant to be
was
in.
Was it just the bass that was missing? You couldn't just replay it in and let
there
it
was...
on,
I mean, we could have brought him in. Josh actually sent us through a sort of a premix of it and said, this is what I was able to recover from it.
Yeah.
Sounded brilliant.
Cool.
But there was some areas where, vocals were a bit distorted. Right. And again, that came down to how I had set the preamp and stuff on my recording desk.
Yeah.
So next time, I think it's, Josh, you're coming with us.
Actually,
and you're going to sit side stage and you're going to do your magic and we're going to focus on what we can.
All day during the sound check or something.
Yeah.
Really play with it, take it away, listen to it, bring it back.
Yeah.
But I did a Kidos practice recently, tried to take everyone in live through the desk. So I had someone's guitar DI'd, another guitar mic'd up, the bass DI'd, and kick drum mic and overhead mic for the drums. And it actually turned out all right. But in the videos, we got videos of it as well. You can see me like playing with the desks and it's like... The levels are all fucking over the place. It's actually pretty funny. I should put it out one day. But it took a lot of playing with to get it right.
Yeah.
A lot. And like 8 out of the 9 songs we recorded actually sound terrible, but 1 actually sounds okay because of all that
because of the messing about.
Yeah.
It was the very last one I went, and this sounds class.
Worth it in the end. Yeah.
No, we did the same thing, and the unfortunate thing was I was the one in control of setting it up, so I had all my gear brought. But Mandela's a big stage, and all my gear was on that side of the stage to record it, and I'm standing the whole way over here. So
and you're busy playing. So.
I had like I couldn't even like every now and then just sort of take a juke over and go, is that still recording? Does that look all right? Oh, it looks okay.
It was gone in the distance.
It was
blinded by distance and lights. And
it's down
sweat.
to fate now if this works or if it doesn't work.
Shit's in God's hands. I think that's where you're going.
So, yeah, so that happened. It didn't get recorded. And then we just said, right.
Actually, in hindsight, brought Josh to that
one.
Oh,
yeah.
Thinking the size of the place.
The thing as well is like, it was so last minute that we were planning on doing it. And I'd been speaking to him back and forth because we had talked to him about it. And at the time, maybe whatever our budget was, just didn't allow for us to pay Josh to come down. But in hindsight, I was like, I would have put it on a credit card because it would have just made far more sense just to have him there.
Or if you can't even get Josh, if you can get he can recommend an underling, to send out in the field and monitor.
I said he needs an intern.
There's got to be someone to go out, a field operative, to send out and watch your back when you're out there.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I think that is a future plan that there will be a live thing done.
That's good. Acid Age put out a live album there in the Limelight. That's a good place to get recorded. I know we've sound checked in there before, and then you come off, and then Brian plays you back, and then you're like you're coming out
you're
again
coming
as
out
you
and you're
step up.
standing out the front. But I like that. And,
That's cool.
You know, we've done Limelight, and Brian is just a magician when it comes to that kind of stuff. You know, because we played Limelight with you guys,
Yeah,
and Sinocence, and I remember coming off,
and
and
it was brilliant.
he was doing the same thing, and I was like, what magic is this? How are we still? That's live. That's not a recording.
If you speak to him and you're nice, you might be able to get that sent over or get the whole thing recorded.
But again, and
it's not just recording it; it's what happens to it after. And
this is why it does pay to, you know, be nice to the sound guys. And on the lead up, like I've been speaking to, you know, a few bands that are like just brand new bands and they've been starting up, and the first thing I said to them was, do your stage plot. Do a stage plot, send it through, because there was guys.
Make it easy for everyone to read.
That's it. Because the last one we had, we sent to Andy, and Andy actually came up to me and just laughed and says, "Can't make head or tail of that." And I was like, "I'll fix it. I promise."
Well, so you couldn't get the live recording for Faceless, but you shot the music video for it.
Yeah.
Was that just a no-brainer? Like playing Mandela Hall, doing a music video, just fucking film the gig.
Yeah.
I did that as well for my old band, by Conquest. We were
Yeah.
doing a big one in the Limelight. It was a no-brainer. We just made we came to bring the fight. We just shot footage from the gig, and then there you go. Big fucking crowd, big fucking production.
That just looks
You were
sick.
doing it anyway, so just fucking get someone to hold the camera in there.
So the Faceless music video had actually already been shot and edited and done before we played Mandela. It had been done in Oh Yeah. So because again, we were going to be doing a full live video. So the video was actually meant to be off the live track.
Cool.
And look, had come down the 100 guy. If you're ever videoing, go to him. He's just brilliant.
Yeah.
And so he had come down to Oh Yeah. He had shot the music video. And then we got Mandela. And I was like, do you want to come to Mandela? Come on. So he came to Mandela and he got a load of new shot. And then so we added, he was very kind and incorporated a lot of the Mandela footage into the Faceless video. And then the primary reason he was at Mandela was he was taking promo footage for the release of Extinction.
Okay.
So he was doing a promo reel basically for it.
Is Extinction going to have footage from Mandela show as well? No.
So again, because we're on a budget at the minute, because we sort of went a wee bit gung-ho with a lot of, you know, getting people down to video and photograph Mandela and stuff like that, we basically used the pot up just to take those opportunities and not waste them.
Fair enough.
So with Extinction, Jared shot it on his phone. The entire thing.
The whole thing.
The entire thing.
Well,
shot on a Samsung S20 or whatever it is.
Cool.
And it looks sick.
Did he have a little gimbal for
Nope.
just all
handheld on his phone?
Is it like a raw, quick footage? Is there a lot of live energy?
It's all black and white. It's got these weird sort of overlays on it where, you know, my face is coming through his face and there's shadows and,
yeah,
you know, it's crazy. You can tell that it's a very basic shoot.
Yep.
But it looks great. I have to say, he's done a great job of it, and he's been wanting to do one like this for a while now. And we were down in our rehearsal room one day, and right, clear the back wall. Let's go. Turn the lights off. Brush strobe down. You know, let's see what happens.
Some of the best shots are the most simple as well. Some like just 5 dudes in a room, some decent lights, decent background.
Yeah,
that's what most local videos are.
Yeah, no, honestly, it is. And I said, I think we were all. I'm going to say this, and it's going to sound really bad against him, but we were shocked at
how good it was.
Yeah, for considering, because videoing it didn't. When we were doing videoing, it didn't look as if that's how it was going to look. And then he started.
I think a lot of bands are experimenting with doing things yourself, and once you actually have a go, you'd be surprised.
Yeah.
How gifted some of your mates in your bands might actually be at
Yeah,
doing stuff.
I mean, a lot of any of the sort of the promo posters and reels and stuff that we do, that is just Jared.
Yeah.
All the artwork for all the albums or for all the singles and stuff we've released, that was Jared and AI. But it was
Yeah. Oh,
it was,
AI is fantastic.
it was Jared doing the typing.
Yeah, brilliant. How do you feel about the use of AI and stuff? I think it's brilliant.
I
There's some
love
people
it.
dead against it.
I do also love having genuinely people
Oh, they can
involved
do it.
as well.
As well, you can't just use AI either. You gotta tidy it up. Like if you ask it for a photo of, something doing something, it'll come back and the hand will have 6 fingers, and you'll have to
Yeah.
go into Photoshop after and tidy it up. You can't just use what it gives you, but it can give you a good basis for ideas to then go and create
Yeah.
your own shit over the top of it.
I think for quickness, and again for bands that are maybe on a budget and don't have funding to like just go out and hire someone to do really nice artwork and stuff like that, brilliant tool. But I do know we've discussed this a couple of times, and if we just decided to go out and do like a proper album, something that we're going to be putting money and time and effort into, it's not going to be AI.
Oh no,
we'll be going to someone.
Yeah, use it for gig posters and Happy Valentine's Day posts or whatever. AI the fuck out of that.
Yeah.
But for your album, you're gonna want someone to paint that. Like
When me and Jared were in Car Chase, the last EP we had released, we had found this artist on Fiverr, and
cool.
we sent him a few ideas, and he came back. Now this is years and years and years ago, and he came back and he sent us through, and it ended up being the cover. It was class looking. It was like all these aliens and colorful and all these fun.
Oh, nice.
Turned out he went on to be the artist who did all the design material for Beaverton alcohol, the beer.
Yeah.
He did all the tins.
Nice.
So I was just like,
probably not on Fiverr anymore.
No.
Sweet. So you can get someone before they start out.
Yeah. So awesome. Fiverr. If you don't have money, go on Fiverr as well, because you will get some amazing stuff off in there.
Brilliant, man. Mm-hmm. Awesome. So yes, your latest single. Sorry, it's easy enough to get sidetracked. Your latest single, Extinction. You didn't record it when you recorded Faceless.
No.
So you went in, new session, new time.
Yeah.
You booked the time before you had the lyrics written. You just had the riffs.
Yeah, pretty much.
And did you just say like on the day, just to try some shit, freestyle it? See, or did he actually?
We had
some verses written out.
I don't think we had ever rehearsed it with vocals to a full extent. Jared would have thrown in lines to make sure they fit and get an idea of where he wanted the vocals to sit on it, and whether it was going to be like the actual chorus for it. I think we ended up coming up with that in the studio, because it's clean and it has a nice hook to it, but everything else was just Jared shouting, and he had everything ready going in. I just don't think he had rehearsed it. But again, that's why originally we had done the first couple of singles where we recorded the music and then went away.
Yep.
Because it allowed Jared to sort of listen to it in a mixed and mastered sort of
a bit closer to finished.
Yeah.
And then does he have his own home recording rig? Does he demo out his own vocals?
I think that's his car. I don't know. I mean, it's he does have a setup at home and stuff like that, and whether he demos himself singing, I don't know. But what I do know is he comes down and we go in the studio and he is prepared. So,
recording rigs. What did you use? Did you use the same setup for Faceless as you did for Extinction? You said you go and you plug straight into Josh. Mm-hmm. When you plug into him, what does he give you? What do you? What's the chain look like?
So when we had done the last 3 singles, the same thing. I think he does this with a lot of people. I had brought my full rig down, and then he sampled it.
Yep.
So again, if we're talking about rigs, I have the amps I use. It's a Synergy module. So it has a Diesel Herbert in it, and it has a Bogner Ubershaw, but they're the actual amplifiers, like the preamps for them. So as soon as I brought that in, he was like, give me a minute. And then he plugs it in and you start hearing all this going through the speakers. And then he goes, right, okay, we don't need to bring that anymore. That's it there. And he had it all. I'm like, okay, done.
Yeah,
easy.
You can somehow record it, download the profile of it, and replicate it straight away.
Yeah.
It's insane how he does that. So he basically gets you your live rig.
Yeah.
Fine.
You just walk in and just...
So that's what you did for amps. I take it, what'd you do for like pedals, modulations? Do you use any of those?
All my rig's a weird hybrid thing. So I have a Line 6 Helix rack.
Nice.
And it's for all processing, amp switching as well. So it does everything. I went sort of...
You just bring a little foot switch.
Yeah.
Button board.
So when we were going on tour, I had this like massive rig where it was big 50-watt head and 4x12 and the full proper line 6 pedal, and it was cables everywhere and stuff. And I thought, right, okay, I'm going to need to make this a wee bit streamlined and because there's no way I'm going to bring this and put it in a car. It's not going to work. So got rid of the floor unit for the Helix, got the rack, got the Synergy rack module, got a power amp for that. Everything's in this like lovely Gator rack case.
That's
and
class, man.
it's all nice cable managed out the back of it. And then I have one cable that comes out of it, and that's it.
Brilliant.
It's so easy. So yeah, I don't use the Helix effects when we're in with him. He has his own things.
He basically has the same thing.
He knows the sounds. I mean, he has the Helix native system as well, but he has reverbs that he likes to use. He has delays that he likes to use.
It's like you guys do have a lot of effects on your stuff. You'd have like sort of, you know, like your clean melodies going over the top of the heavy courses. Do you have all of that sort of predetermined ahead of time, or do you let Josh play with different things?
To a certain point, we'd have a lot of it organized.
Like you'd have your delay dialed to 52 or whatever. You have it all.
Not that specific.
Not
That's
specific.
where he comes in.
Yeah, okay.
So it's something he's been talking to me about for ages, saying that I should just bring it up and let me and him should just create the patch based on what he uses, and then that's it. Done. Whatever.
Well, yeah, when it comes to delays and modulations, like sometimes you won't actually know what it will sound like at all. Until
He
you throw in
hates my
something
delay.
at him.
He hates my live delay. He like when we were going to do the live stuff in Mandela and stuff like that, he turned around and goes, "Do me a favor." I went, "What?" He goes, "Turn off your delay."
You can add it in after.
He goes, "Yeah, no, that's exactly what he said." He goes, "I'll put mine on it." So I think this weekend when we go in with him, I'll okay, let's set this up where you like it.
Yeah, and can you download it then take it away?
Yeah.
Nice one. Nice. So what guitars did you use then? You talked about amps and profiles. What actual guitars did you use?
I when we first started, so again, coming from like pop punk into like this new sort of hard rock metal kind of stuff.
Yep.
I went from using tallies and I was like, I don't know what guitar to use. And I wanted something a wee bit different. I want something not unique. That makes me sound like a prima donna, but I just wanted something different that I'd never used before. And again, in the pop punk era, I followed a band called Chunk, No Captain Chunk.
Okay.
And every guitar player and bass player in that band used a guitar company called Third Eye,
Okay.
which is based in France. And I just loved their guitars. They were like this boutique, but not at a boutique price.
Yeah.
So when we were going in to record the second EP, I just wanted something different. So I thought, fuck it, I'll email them. And I emailed them and I got chatting to the owner and went back and forth. And he was like, would you be interested in becoming an endorsed artist? And I was like, yes, please.
That's so cool, man.
So the first guitar that I got from them was this. They have two companies. There's Third Eye and Custom 77.
Yeah.
Third Eye is the more sort of metal side of things. So he'd sent me this Custom 77. It's called the Breakdown. It came in a base case. It's that big.
It's that big.
It's ginormous and it weighs a ton, but it was just beautiful.
Yeah.
Just a weird shape, just big, heavy, chunky looking thing. So I used that on the second EP. And then I wanted something a bit smaller, a bit lighter, and they actually have their own sort of version of a Les Paul called London's Burning. So again, I emailed them back and went, I'll get one of these and so he sent me it.
Nice.
And it just had that hard rock tone to it, and it's their custom pickups as well. So it's all their hand-wired stuff. It's not
humbuckers.
Yeah, it's not like it's their own Custom 77, the Third Eye brand. And I think originally the idea was I was going to get it and then stick like a few new ones in, and then I got it and went, oh no, these are just grand. I'll keep them.
Need it.
So I got that, and then finally they came out with this guitar, and it was just beautiful, called the Locket Love. And
What's that one?
it's a telly body, but it has this like spalted maple top on it, and it's like this purple burst. And then when you turn it around, the entire back of it is just this matte black finish. And I was like, yes, this is the one I've been waiting for. Give me this, please.
Awesome.
So I got it, and that's main guitar number one now.
Yeah.
And it's just
Is that what I seen you playing at the Medal of the Masses final? Yeah.
It's just, I don't know what it is about it. I just fell in love with it. Now, the only thing is, when I first got it, sharp edges, and like I destroyed half my arm because I play quite aggressively.
Yeah.
So thankfully, over the past couple of years, it's sort of worn down. It's got
I got like a rash on my arm from playing acoustic.
So it's got that sort of uniqueness now where it fits my arm. If anyone else play it, they're going to get the arm cut off them unless they're playing exactly where I play
got
it.
A groove into it.
That's it. Nice. So yeah, no, I got that, and yeah, it's just brilliant. Actually, for my wedding, I bought a guitar off them. Again, it's very much like a Les Paul Jr. Kind of looking guitar, but it's the double neck or the double cut.
Oh yes,
that they do. So
like not an SG.
Yeah,
but almost like the PRS.
Yes, very similar to that.
Yeah.
So they had a version of that. So I actually got it and I used it as my wedding guest book. So everybody signed it.
Dude, that's awesome
for the wedding. Just to be something a bit different, but again, one of the nice things of sort of being endorsed now, which is you can sort of maybe ask and see if you can get these kind of things. But
man, that's cool.
They've been so kind, and you know, they're great guitars.
Yeah, we'll give them a shout out. Third Eye
and Custom 77.
Nice. And they're based in France.
In Lyon, in France.
Nice.
And
but they ship worldwide.
Yeah, ship everywhere.
Brilliant. Nice one, dude. Well, that's fucking cool. I wanted to ask you about your endorsements. The last couple of singles, of course. So we talked about how Josh takes your profiles, replicates them, tells you don't need to bring your amp anymore. What do you do then? Do you find that if he elevates your sound, do you have to then take that and replicate it back live again? And you know, because obviously your songs have so many layers. There's obviously more layers going on there than you could probably humanly do live. How do you?
We have a lot of guitar players. No. When we go in with Josh, it happened with one song, and it was one of the last. It was a single called "Almost Lost," and we went in, and we got very excited with it, and we started, we can put this here and this here, and we found out very quickly that we were struggling to play it live.
Too much stuff.
And that's something that we do play it live. It does sound good live, but it doesn't. To me, it doesn't match what we can put in the recording. So going into Josh, we set the standard and the goal that we are not going to put something on a record that we cannot reproduce.
Okay.
If we cannot do this live, and it's I've cut out there. It's still going through anyway.
Oh, we're back. Yes.
Yeah, if we can't do it live, then it's not worth doing.
Fair enough. Oh, we're back.
There we go. Yeah, no. So we go in, and you know the first thing, because Josh loves
authenticity. Oh, Josh loves
going
elements.
off on tangents and stuff like that.
Elements.
And we get excited when he does it because
they're class.
You're like, yeah, that's fine. And then like I think we had a song where he ended up dropping System of a Down BYOB over it, like the vocals for it, and it matched the entire thing. And we're like, no, we can't. We can, but we shouldn't.
Just come up with your own lyrics to that melody. Like.
No, so we have to make it very, very structured that when we're going in, we can't get too carried away.
Yeah.
But in saying that, like a lot of the layers that you do hear, they sound more complicated than they actually are. It's more what I'm doing with the pedal board.
Yeah.
So, you know, I could have maybe 3 different delays going and like ambient reverb and stuff like that. And because of the repetitions and how it sort of builds up, it sounds like there's more going on than there actually is.
Okay.
But again, it's one of the reasons why we're going out for the another guitar player, because when we had me and the other guitar player and then Jared playing guitar, Jared's idea was, we sort of called it the Dave Grohl effect, which was he just adds volume, and that's
just sort of playing chords.
Yeah,
as he plays.
He can focus on the vocals. The guitar still adds, but it just meant that there's 2 guitar players now that are able to sort of go back and forth, and we can really
sure. Actually, really, when he's doing a melody, when he's doing a riffs, and then Jared's just sort of chords.
Yeah,
that's cool. So thickens it out.
Yeah,
Nice.
And it also lends in if we want to add new things. We have another guitar player who can potentially do that. So
awesome, man. Cool. Well, I was going to say, when you're going into the studio, what's your essential sort of prep for it? What would you do? Warm up, practice, get yourself in the zone mentally.
So on the week leading up, so if I take this week, for instance, because we're in the studio on the weekend, we all met up on Tuesday. We run the songs. We just run the song. The very last thing that I'll do is change my guitar strings.
Yes.
That's about it.
Strings, stretch them out, straighten them up.
We go in not having expectations of what we're going to, and we also don't go in with this sort of preconceived notion that this song might change.
Yeah.
Because that has happened before. We have a song called Alone, which when we went in just sounded completely different than what we actually left with. There's a lovely ambient bit in it which never existed, and it was, I think Josh had got a new guitar, and I was just sitting, I was like, when Josh was editing stuff, he was playing something on a loop, and I was playing with his new guitar, and I just started playing this thing, and he went, oh, that's nice.
It just developed then on
and
the
then it became this, he just went pause and went, put a click on and went, record that, and then he did the rest, and it sounded amazing, and we were like, okay, well, that's now part of the song.
Yep.
So
awesome.
again, it's the importance of having like a producer who will actually work with you as well.
Contributes a lot.
Yeah. It's brilliant, and that's why he gets credit on all the songs, because he's essentially like the secret sixth member.
That's it. Like a lot of times we'll go in when we did the Kidos album, we would have had like a chorus that just was like one singing line, and then Josh would come up with like a second and a third harmony, and then all of a sudden it would sound like a fucking choir. And just through a couple of little inputs, making all the difference.
Yeah, I think that's we do. I think we do that mostly with the vocals, where we'll go in. Again, vocal ideas are there, but we just start experimenting.
To do thorough demos, like recorded at home. No,
literally, honestly, some of the last songs we've done the first time we've heard the vocals is when we've been sitting in the studio and George got up to the microphone and
just nailed it.
I'm like, oh right, so that's what we're singing. That sounds good, brilliant.
All the other times I've done it, we've been really, really anally strict with nope. We need the vocal demos done in time to the click, all the harmonies, all there, and then move forward. Because I suppose like with the real technical stuff as well, it has to be precisely correct. You can't go in knowing, is this gonna be okay or not? You need to know it's gonna be okay. But
my go-to is I walk in, I sing a line, and then say, "Okay, Josh, now can you auto-tune that, please?" and then I walk away, and again, it's one of those things where, oh no, I can't do this live.
Oh fuck, I've painted myself into a corner a couple of times singing lines that's like, right now you've got to do this live, and got to do all your warm-up exercises, or you'll fucking hurt yourself. But that's cool. So yeah. Talk about prepping for the studio. You go in kind of not having too many expectations. You don't have things ironed down. Apart from Josh, have you recorded in any other studios ever, even like in college or anywhere? Or?
Jared and I have. When we were with Car Chase, we would have went to Frankie a lot.
Einstein's.
And, we did love Frankie, but I think when we started getting into this, like really, and don't get me wrong, Frankie's done really heavy stuff, Senescence and stuff like that, they all go into him. The reason we used him for pop punk especially is everything seemed a bit more raw, and
there's a real rock sound to it.
It was,
real
and
heavy bass.
some of the stuff that I loved going into Einstein was I brought myself, because he has the amps, he has the guitars,
everything.
And he's just like, use this. Actually, I think there was one day, it was post Altus, and I just bought a 7-string Schecter. Because I'd seen Terry McHugh has one. I went, ooh, maybe I can play like him if I buy this. Which wasn't the case.
Terry's someone else I'm trying to get on here to talk. He wants to do it, but he's a busy guy.
He's a busy man.
He plays every Thursday in the Empire.
Yeah.
And the Chris Talbin Blues Band.
I watch their videos, and I'm just sitting on that, man. I was like, we were talking before this about, when I sold you that Explorer.
Terry was in the band.
And I brought it up And he was in the room, and I was like, no. He goes, oh, can I have a go? I was like, wait until I leave. I was like, I don't want to see someone better than me play this guitar.
That's what, yeah. It's if you want to hear your guitar played well, give it to Terry.
Give it to Terry. If you want to hear anything played well, give it to Terry.
That's awesome.
But yeah, no, so
Einstein Studios, I've been in there as well. It's a
love
brilliant place.
and it's such a nice setup and such a nice studio, and Frankie's just such a legend.
Frankie is just the best crack. Like, he's the funniest guy.
We had went over and recorded in London with a guy called Steve Sears. He's in a band called The Hell.
Oh, yeah, I know that.
Yeah. So we recorded with him.
Did that Nickelback cover?
Yeah. Oh, they're sick. And I think, like, do you remember when, like, Jeremy Clarkson came out and got fired from BBC?
Yeah.
Like 20 minutes after that whole thing came out, they had released a song, and it was a 30-second homage about Jeremy Clarkson being a
dick. Fucking brilliant.
It was so good. But we went over and recorded with him.
Oh, brilliant.
And that was probably the most surreal experience I've had in a recording studio, because it was like the most professional studio I've ever been in.
Mm-hmm.
But
what also was there, like, the hell level of fuckery?
No, there was famous people.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah, like,
so there was no messing, it was all serious?
Oh, no, well, no, oh, there was messing as well, don't get me wrong.
Okay.
But, like, I mean, in between takes, like, so we would have done a guitar take, and he would have went and got on a Segway and just started flying around the place. But, like, we were in recording, and then, like, the guys from Lower than Atlantis came in.
Oh, nice.
I was, like, using their guitar to record, because again, he said, oh, no, don't bring anything, I've got it all here. And so, like, Mike Deuce came in and Ben came in, and I was like, I'm using your guitar, I'm so sorry. He's like, oh, no, that's cool. Yeah. But really surreal.
Cool.
And then, like, they had one of Troy Sanders' signature basses there from Mastodon, and I went over and I was like, oh, that's Troy Sanders' signature bass, that's class. And he just looked at me and goes, no, mate, that's Troy Sanders' bass.
That's his actual bass.
I was like, what? I was like, why do you have this? And he goes, oh, they were doing rehearsal prep in that studio, and as payment, he gave me that. And I was like, okay.
Excellent.
And then he goes, oh, I should also mention my best mate is V-Man. I was like, oh, lovely. Your best mate is the bass player for Slipknot. Yeah. Fantastic.
So
good to know. So
he knows his stuff.
That was bizarre. And then, of course, we've been up to Manor Park and stuff like that as well. So
that's right, Neil. I've been up there as well. He's brilliant.
His vocals, we'd recorded with Steve, and then we came back and we just weren't happy with the vocals. Mm-hmm. So we went up and re-recorded the vocals in Manor Park, just because it wasn't that we were happy. It was we went into the product that he had sent us across was amazing, but we just decided we wanted to go a different direction with the vocals and wanted to just completely change them. So
cool. Yeah,
I don't think it was taken too well, because it was like, well, I've just sat and recorded all this and you're throwing it out the window. But wasn't because of the quality of the product. It was
style.
more we've decided we want to do something different.
Well, different dudes doing different styles of stuff. It's all good. Manor Park just did the Embrace Execution.
Mm-hmm.
Have you heard that?
No, I haven't heard it.
It's fucking brilliant. Played with them last Friday at the Malevolent show. They've just been getting better and better and better.
Yeah.
When I definitely check that EP out, it's class.
Sick.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
Yeah. And so you've been Einstein's, you've been to Manor Park, you've been over to England.
Mm-hmm.
Any other studios? Any disasters? Any terrible ones?
I don't think we have. With Altus, we recorded with Johnny Monroe when we were in Altus. He did the Altus stuff.
Bearcat?
Yeah.
Cool.
He's such a dude as well. Like,
he's cool.
It was so good. Actually, I think the funny story behind that, and Josh sort of often brings it back up, because we were originally meant to record with Josh that day.
Yeah.
I was in work, and our drummer and guitar player had went to Josh. This is when it was in Josh's house. Mm-hmm. I think the drummer stood, it was like Chris Pax or something on the floor, and he stood in a nail. And the nail went right through his foot or something. I can't remember what happened. All I know is I got a text message when I was in work saying, we're not recording here anymore, we're going to Johnny. And I went, why? He's like, oh, the place is a mess. And I went, but at that point, like, Josh had started recording, and I can't remember what band it was, and I had heard a song, and I went, who recorded this? I was like, we need to go to them because we need to sound like this.
That's how I found Josh as well.
Mm-hmm.
Call to Arms song, and I was like, whoa, who the fuck did this?
Mm-hmm.
See, I actually had heard of Josh before, but didn't hear anything that he had done that I thought that I wanted to sound like.
Yeah.
That you got my attention before. So once I did, it was like,
Oh, he's the man I'm going to.
Aye, fantastic.
And again, we've sort of talked about it, and there's never been a thought of, do we try somewhere else this time? It's
just always
no. Why would we? It's tried and true, and we know exactly what we're going to get.
It's like even Kidos at the minute are talking about, oh, who are we going to get to mix a new CD? And I'm like, why are we even?
Why are we
talking
asking
about
this
it?
question?
Like, we can pretend we're going to debate it like it's going to be Josh. So yeah, brilliant. It's cool. So you've done all your songs with Josh, all the ForeignWolf songs have been with Josh. And what's your favorite one then out of them all?
Ooh, I don't think I've ever answered this question.
Yeah, have you one that you always find yourself drawn to?
I have.
Having a jam at home, you always constantly stick on.
I have one that is my favorite to play, but we never play it because it's the quietest song we've done. So it's a song called Gradual Destruction.
So it doesn't really suit sets.
It does.
Oh, it does.
But I think what happens is 99% of the time we're given a half-hour slot, and
it takes up all the time.
It kills it.
Right.
It does. If we're going out, we're wanting for half an hour. We want to give as much energy as we can, and with Gradual, because it's very dialed back Deftones esque. It does have a brilliant build and it ends huge and stuff like that, but it's like a good 5-6 minutes and it just eats up the set. So if we're playing a headline set, we'll throw that in.
Yes, if you've got the time to put a bit of dynamics in your set. If you've only got half an hour, you don't really want it to elevate the energy to drop. You want it to just sort of be banger after banger after banger. You don't want to give people a chance to say, right, well, I'm off for a smoke. You want to just, nope, back in there, boy.
And that's something we do live, is that we don't like quiet in between songs. So
unless you've got an hour, or it's a fucking ForeignWolf show for an evening with them, fair enough, go up and down, but short sets, short and sweet.
That phone's just died.
Oh, no.
That's all right, we still got two
That's
angles.
Cool. It's all right.
We're good.
It's all good.
Live, I'd say one of my favorite songs to play is, it's now Faceless. It was Alone.
Yep.
It was Alone because, again, the quiet bit we had added in with the bringing in the second guitar player, we created this really atmospheric bit, and then it led into my first solo that I've been allowed in this band. I've never been allowed a solo.
Okay.
And we were in rehearsal one day and I was just like, screw this, I'm gonna put a solo in and say nothing, and I played it, and Connor looked at me and went, why do you not do that more? And I was like, because Jared said no.
Fucking right, dude. Always more solos all the time. If you can shred, do shred. That's also fucking right. That's cool, man. So that would be your most the one you're happiest with now.
Yeah.
Have you any you're not happy with? If you could go back and change it, you would. Come back on.
Almost lost. Because again, as I said earlier, it's one that I think we just struggle to play live.
Okay. So would you take some of those extra bits out, or would you scrap it?
I don't
you wouldn't
think
scrap it entirely. Obviously.
No, I don't think the song would sound as good if we do take the stuff out.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe it maybe something that we'll sit down and rehearse a bit more and get a bit more fluent and stuff like that. It's a brilliant song. I really, really enjoy playing it. It's very fast paced. And again, it's different because there's a bit more I have a bit more melodic playing in it rather than just chords. But yeah, no, it's just sad that we do struggle to recreate it. So that would be, it's not my, I don't hate it, but oh no, it's funny. The song I hate the most is actually the name sort of encapsulates how I feel about it, which is Hard to Bear.
Okay.
Why is that? It's the first single we released, and it is as far from how we sound as it can get.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just
again a good
old
song.
style.
Yeah, very, very old song, first song, and a great song, but again, it's not us anymore.
Okay, cool. Dead on. So I will get here. There are next bits. So we talked about favorites and least favorites. So basically, influences on your new stuff. Who are you listening to at the minute?
I'd say, as a collective, we do share very similar interests with the likes of Alexis on Fire, Cancer Bats, even going down as far as like the Lincoln Park and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Bring Me the Horizon. Me personally, I'm more of an Alter Bridge. That sort of
Getting that Chevelle.
Yeah.
Getting big Chevelle
all
vibes.
that kind of stuff. And again, even going back into sort of a bit more sort of sludge, like sort of like Orange Goblin and you know, that kind of era, Mastodon.
It's cool. It's hard to pin your style down. It's very like it's kind of like big atmospheres, sort of like
Yeah, and I don't know where that came from
you know,
because I don't think any of us, like, when we actually go back and listen.
That's
to
not what you were trying to do.
No. that's Josh.
Sweet. Were you just trying to riff and blast and rock out, and then it just got epic?
Yeah, Jared's punk, Green Day, all that kind of stuff. Connor's very more down the metal route. And then, I don't know, again, me and Connor would have some similar things, like, you know, like Tesseract and stuff like that. Me and Max would have some similar. Me and Jared would have some similar.
Yeah, you get that sort of your clean tapping. You can hear that across your stuff as well.
It just, I don't know, it's a nice mix match. It's just been sort of very fortunate that there is a common ground that we can keep coming back to. Because for a long time, we sort of looked at ourselves going, what are we? You know, we didn't know what we... And that was a joke that sort of Wayne keeps saying to us. He was like, you know, are you light? Are you heavy? I don't know. I was like, mate,
and just ForeignWolf.
We're something. That's it. We're us.
Yeah.
Don't know what it is yet, but so sort of just lent into the idea of where we just are never going to know, and we'll just keep writing something and putting it out. And if it's heavy, it's heavy. If it's light, it's light.
Yeah.
See what happens.
Brilliant, man. Brilliant. Cool. Well, so we were talking to man about equipment you were using on the recording, the equipment you bring live. You rehearse with the exact same stuff you use live, or do you have like a wee mini rig you take on tour? Do you have anything like a smaller version for smaller cars?
Yes, and it was originally that I would be the fussy one in the band. I would be the one that has a home rig, a fly rig, all that kind of stuff. Yeah. Jared's is very much straight into amp. That's it.
Really? Just guitar, amp?
Yeah.
Maybe a tuner?
I mean, he has one or two pedals, but again, they're ones that like just sort of stay on, so like a noise suppressor and stuff like that. But Connor loves simplicity, but he also likes complication. So whilst the rig he has ultimately is simplistic, the amount of work that he actually puts in to get a sound and stuff out of it, I watch him sometimes and I'm like, I have no idea what you're doing, because he's down, he's pushing buttons, he's turning things. What
does he use? Is he a multi-board or a lot?
Dark glass.
Dark glass?
Yeah. Cool. So dark glass head, and then he has a couple of dark glass pedals and stuff like that. Nice. And then he has a lovely bright pink Dingwall bass. It's just gorgeous.
Cool. And do you use exclusively the Third Eye guitars? Yep.
Yeah.
That's all you use. What do your other guys use?
Jared, what's Jared have? Jared has all my old guitars.
Brilliant.
I'm not sure. So he has a Les Paul Prophecy that I had. He has a gold Les Paul Chibson.
Oh, cool.
And it's sick. I mean,
I've always wanted one of those. Actually,
it looks as real to a Les Paul custom Gibson that you're going to get.
Nice, but probably far lighter.
It's far lighter. Yeah. It has AMGs in it, and the thing just sounds incredible.
Nice.
And then he has his amp head again. It's a module looking head. It's a 1U rack space. It's called the Colossus, and again, it's just plug in, play, no clean. Sweet. He uses volume and just goes back and forth, and that's it.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
So used to playing guitar would use a whole lot of multi boards, but Jared
straight in singing.
And so again, literally like Dave Grohl, like you said, just one sound, one.
It's if you go for that sort of wet and dry amp kind of thing, so he doesn't
just use
he doesn't overcomplicate things. I really overcomplicate things.
That's good though. I mean, sometimes you need that. You need someone just thrashing out the chords of the riff while you have the complicated tapping and everything else going on to complement it. So it works really well, dude. Nice. So you did Metal to the Masses this year. Made it all the way to the final.
Yep.
How did you find that?
Sick.
Brilliant. Yeah, it's always brilliant fun, isn't it? Yeah.
I love it. we did it. One of the first years we were, I think it was 2021 or something like that. We did it. Got through the semi-finals. Again, at that point, we were still a lot lighter than what we are now. So it would never really. It was always underdog.
Probably wouldn't have got picked for a metal festival.
It's not going forward. This year we went in again, sort of having low expectations because we sort of seen the bands that we're in against, and we're the lightest band on the bill.
Yeah, for the final.
For the quarter final for the.
I think there was a couple of lighter bands.
There was. I mean,
throughout the year.
we weren't the lightest band in the final. Mr. Pink was.
Yes, that's what I was going to say. Yeah.
But again, it I don't know. It was bizarre. We never thought we always had sort of set our expectation going. If we get to the semi-final, we'll be happy.
Yep.
And then we got to the final, and we're like, oh god, now we want to win.
That's it. Like if you end up not going through, you can't get too worried about it. It's sweet. You carry on. But if you do, then fucking right. Take it as another celebration and keep going. It's class. Like
we got to the final, and I was sitting, and when Nyland came on, I just looked and went, well, there's our winners, because they were incredible.
Yeah. Shout out to Nyland for winning that. That was well deserved.
So good. I just looked down and went, that's like some of the best stuff I've seen on stage in Belfast. That's like, their energy, everything that was going on. I was like, yeah, that belongs at Bloodstock, 100%. And don't get me wrong, we were up against some like big names as well. I mean, like Astronaut coming back. Like I remember playing with them when I was in Aldous, and I was like, I loved his voice.
They were brilliant.
They were just oh no, absolutely. I was chatting to them outside afterwards, and I was like, I'm so glad you're back releasing stuff again, because the boat sank again. Brilliant. Solothorn.
Yeah, remember those guys back when they were fucking Involution, like 20 years ago.
So
Dee and Ryan.
The funny thing about that was Ryan had this was before it was Solothorn. It was they were starting something.
Okay.
And
yet to be named.
I auditioned for them before I started ForeignWolf.
All right. Okay.
And for whatever happened, the guy who was going to be drumming for them left, and then it just never came to fruition.
Fuck.
So if the stars had just aligned a little bit differently,
that could have been.
Then I might have been in them and a completely different band. So I remember they showed up, and I didn't realize that who Solothorn were, and then they came out. I was like, "Oh, it's yous." I was like, and then I sort of looked and I went, "Oh God, he has a good voice too." he's really
Ryan,
good. They're really good too.
Yeah. Ryan was like inspirational to me. I used to go to like the front page when I was like 15, 16 and watch.
Oh my
Ryan
God, the front page
in Evolution, like jumping around the place, climbing off shit, and you're like, "Whoa, that's fucking class! That's what I want to do." Like,
he just has this big. And I remember, and then when I heard his voice live again, I was like, "Oh God, that's this." It's quickly slipping out of our grasp here. We're never getting this.
Well, you guys did fucking brilliant at it. Didn't get through. You gonna do it again? If
no, do you know what?
No?
Again, we went through because we didn't have. We had just got Max as our new drummer, and it was a really great opportunity to get out and get him involved with the band with a really good crowd.
Yeah.
And to sort of feel the atmosphere and sort of make him really feel part of the band. And then, I mean, it's always enjoyable. Like, I said, going and you end up knowing 99% of the people there. It's such a great night.
We'll all be going to it all anyway.
Yeah.
Whether playing it or not. It's brilliant crack.
Yeah, 100%. So then, to progress as far as we did, it was just brilliant. And,
nice. And well deserved too.
It was so much fun.
What's your plans next for live then?
Tour. I would imagine.
Where is this all going to be?
I think we haven't talked to anyone yet. We do have, through our management company, they have an internal tour booker.
Oh, brilliant. So someone take care of it all for you.
Pretty much. So we'll probably get chatting to them here soon. I think the goal is new songs, new guitar player in, get them ready, whoever it is, and probably April next year. So I would imagine we're only going to play again this year or early next year if something comes up. We're not going to put on. We're not putting on any shows.
Okay, just going to get your new guitar player, get new songs out.
Yeah,
and go on tour. So where is the tour going to be? What venues? What cities?
the last one we did, I think we sort of want to replicate a few of the places because we had such a great time. So Sheffield was one.
Cool.
Newcastle, we played in this. I would say this room's smaller. Oh no! I would say the room we played in smaller than this room. Sorry, and that was including the
Sometimes
stage.
they're the best gigs though.
It was sold out, and when I say when it's sold out, you're talking maybe 50 people. We had to load in
Left
from
on the place.
outside, like so. The van was parked outside, and we just had to load in through the crowd. Couldn't move. Jared couldn't stand on stage. There wasn't enough room because there was 5 of us. So Jared ended up just getting in the crowd. So that was Newcastle, a place called the Little Buildings.
Yeah.
So definitely want to play back there again. It was insane.
Nice one. You recommend all of our fellow
Oh
colleagues
yeah,
from here to
100% go and
hit
play
up
Little
the
Buildings.
Little Buildings
It's
in
so
Newcastle.
good. And do you know what it is? If you want to have one of those experiences where even if only like 10 people show up, it'll look rammed.
Yeah.
And then just get in the crowd and just go nuts. It's great.
Brilliant.
Glasgow was great crack. We actually did 2 nights in Glasgow.
Yeah.
And we also played a HMV in Glasgow, which was
Oh, cool.
it was not like the setup they have here.
Yeah.
They
okay.
actually had a proper
Oh,
full
yeah, you know.
stage, everything all
Oh,
set up.
okay. Sounds good.
So we did it, and then I think probably our management company's from Glasgow, so we tend to try and end the tour
Nice.
in Scotland because it means we start Liverpool, do Liverpool, Sheffield, Manchester, that kind of thing, get the boat down to Liverpool, make our way back up the country, and then get from Carnarvon across. So
Cool.
not as much driving
Yeah.
for me because it's
That
me that
sounds
drives.
brilliant. And when is it you're going to do this?
I'm hoping April, early
Alright.
May.
When the weather's nicer, when it's warmer, when it's
Yeah.
better to travel. Yeah.
No, because it was. I mean, one of the days we were in Sheffield, it was like 20 degrees in April, and sun splitting trees. And I'm like, yeah, this is good.
Awesome. No other then local gigs planned unless something comes up.
Unless
But
something comes up,
I'm sure after your tour in April, you'll probably get us some sort of homecoming.
we'll do.
If nothing by then, something by then.
Yeah, we try. So I was talking to. We've never done Cork or Limerick or
Oh, really? So you got to do an Irish tour then.
we've done Dublin stuff like
Far
that.
corners.
So the idea, I was talking to, a couple of promoters down in Cork, and
Sweet.
I think the idea will be we'll do the UK first, and then we'll come back and we'll do sort of Belfast, maybe sort of further up north, and then we'll go down Dublin, Cork, Limerick, and
Nice one.
sort of make a time of it. 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks, something like
So
that.
what do you guys do then to prep for a gig when you're playing? Does everybody have a drink together? Does everybody go off on their own with some headphones on? Just go get some food and be quiet? Or
I think food's the big one. I don't know. I'd love to say we turn around and have it's this amazing sort of fancy prep and stuff like that. It's literally we just show up. Everyone is probably stressed because they've just come out of work.
yeah.
And it's like we need to get everything in Dave's car,
Everything's running late.
and we need to
Everybody's
get
running
across the Voodoo or wherever it is ASAP.
Nice.
And then we get over there and realize we rushed for nothing because we were early.
late. Yep.
And then we sit there for 4 hours, and then we're like, well, maybe we should go get some food.
Normally, I know those fellas that soak their hands in warm water or run the scales.
Oh, yeah.
for warm-ups. I do like the singing scales for warm-ups, and
I've tried to. I think Jared's going to start doing that. I think with the sort of variety that he's putting into his vocals at the minute, with sort of more aggression,
yeah.
in order to maintain that, especially because the 9 times out of 10, one of the first songs we start with is "Stay With Me," and it starts with just this like guttural shout. I was like, if you're not prepped for that, it's going to sound terrible.
It won't sound good. Cool. That's dead on then. Well, so it's looking like we won't see us live here till next year.
Yeah.
So, any other local gigs coming up you want to go to? Any coming up you're looking forward to?
Going to what am I going to? Going to Tremonti in what's that next February,
Oh, nice.
which is going to be fun.
Yeah.
Going
There's
on-
Lacuna Coil this month. Fuck, it's in a couple of weeks actually.
Tempted to see if I can get tickets for. See, I'm going to say Sepultura, but it's not that I want to go and see them. I want to go see Ginger.
Yeah. Yeah, it's an amazing supporting lineup for that.
Uh-huh.
Telegraph building as well.
Yeah.
Have you ever been to a metal gig in there?
Yeah.
The Machine Head.
No, I wasn't at that.
The
No.
whole fucking Telegraph
It
building
just
becomes
moves.
a circle.
Yeah.
It's fucking amazing. It's
They've
like
done some incredible work in there as well.
it's perfectly like sized for just to be one big circle.
Yeah.
It's-
Where did I go and see it? It was Bowling for Soup I went to see in there, and it was just, I think they had just sort of done a wee bit of work with the sort of acoustics and sound and stuff like that, and the entire time he just made reference because if you look on the back wall, just in the top right,
Oh, it's like an old factory.
there's just a door. And he's just like, why is there a door that
There
just leads to someone's death?
It must have been like different floors all the way up. They just hollowed it out. And it still has all the furnishings on the side of the wall. They could at least curtain that off or something.
I think they have done that. But again, it was just one of those ones where he just tapped me going, he's like, hey, guys, I mean, I'm going to stop this ad. In fact, I need to know what that door does.
Then there's, what else is coming up? There's Archives, 9th, if it bleeds.
Yeah.
18th of October.
I think I will go down to that one because, again, Archives, we played with them.
Limelight as well. And
Yeah.
it's a nice wee dinner time one. You could be home for 9.
Yeah.
Like this one.
Where did we play recently where we were... It was the last voodoo show we did with Citizens and Terrace, and I think I was home for like 10:30. I was like, I love this.
And earlier that week as well, there's my old buddies in Delusional with Somval.
Yeah.
Somval are coming. You ever hear them? They're kind of like old school rock, very like Motorheady.
Yeah.
But they're brilliant crack. They've got a lot of active, funny socials going on the internet, and they're worth following.
Because but I think it was maybe before you stopped. You'd went on a show with Vendetta Love, hadn't you? Mm-hmm. Because they're on Reaction Management with us as well.
Yeah, brilliant guys. That was class.
Because I think they were originally the Oh Yeah show that we had put on after the tour, which is when we were going to record. They were originally, we were trying to get them up to play because it was a reaction showcase. Mm-hmm. And because they were just new to the management, we were just like, oh, you come up. It was like, it'd be a great show. For whatever reason, they couldn't make it up. But again, the great band.
Great band, great guys as well. We Delusional met them. We did the Iron Metalheads metal meetup. You know, the first in the pit. Iron Metalheads
Oh,
festival.
yes, yeah.
And then we met them there, and we were like, these are great. You should play a show together in Belfast. And I mean, you say that to everybody you meet, but we actually did do it.
Really meant this one. We made it work.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Awesome, man. Cool. So any other bands on the scene you reckon we should be checking out? Any other releases coming out, grabbing your attention?
Nothing I've seen. Band wise, I don't even know where to start. There was a band we played with, and it was in Mandela, and it was the Skunts.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh
Very funny.
my God!
You're
I
a
mean,
fucking cunt.
I can't explain what they did on stage. It was incredible.
I've never seen them. I've only heard their songs.
Oh
and seen
my
videos.
God.
They're
Your
fun.
man, so it was, he ended up stripping down
Oh Jesus.
to this, like, was it, I think it was like, was it a thong? I can't remember exactly what it was, but I think it was like, it said the
Probably
Skunts,
best forgotten.
but it said the Skunts on it, like it was like proper merch, or I don't know what it was, but then he started getting the microphone and floss, and it was
Sounds interesting.
unbelievable.
I never want to see that.
And then he came out. No, you do. But he came out and he was playing the banjo and stuff, and I was like, "There's nothing like this." They were just. It was brilliant. It was just I just run about. And it was just drinking Buckfast, and they had a.
Reminds me of, do you remember Mental Deficiency?
Mm-hmm.
And they would run around and then act crazy, he'd say hilarious shit.
No, he was brilliant. I think they did they recently play with Survivalist? Did they do that black box show with them?
Yes, with Molar Bear and
Yeah.
a few other boys. Yep.
Brilliant.
Nice.
Honestly, there's I don't know. Northern Ireland, you get these bands that I just
a
think
lot of interesting characters.
there's some mad hatters, like, but it makes it. It really, really does.
Brilliant. Well, dude, what is left then for the future of ForeignWolf? What's next? After you've got your next singles, your next tour, have you seen sort of into the future beyond that? Have you made more plans? Have you got like a 5-year plan, a 10-year plan? Any further ambitions, or just keep doing what you're doing?
I think.
Are you going to get any specific goals?
I think like I mean, I would be the one who sort of sets the goals. I'm very much like the guy with the whip in the background. I sort of like, let's go, let's do this. Sometimes my mind runs away with me, and I come up with these crazy ideas, and they're like, come back.
Somebody has to.
It's like, come back down to earth, Dave, and
No, don't keep fucking going.
one of the things I'd like to do is, do you ever watch like the Audio Tree sessions? Mm-hmm. So we had sort of talked about this. What I'd like to do is I'd like to get in like this sort of nice cozy studio environment. Get the 4 of us, 5 of us, depending on if we get another guitar player, in a circle, properly set up again. We get Josh in, but sort of that 6 or 7 live songs, no crowd.
Like fully electric, fully amplified.
Yeah, everything's going to be like fully recorded and stuff like that. But
cool. Just when you get like a nice Airbnb out in the wilderness, like a log cabin or something like that.
I had actually found one, and the other thing I'd wanted to do was I was actually saying, you know, it'd be nice if we were ever going to be doing like an album to record it and get Josh and go and actually rent out a house for a week and just record in the house. So that could be something.
And have a live session that could be the basis for your full production.
Yeah, it's just like if we're going to put money into it, then let's make the most out of it. So
cool. Yeah,
you know, and make like sort of not a documentary.
That's what I was going to say. You should get someone to document that, or at least video it all.
We would document it, and I think the idea behind it would be not like, you know, oh, here's ForeignWolf and this is what they've done. It's more like, you know, in between the songs we would just talk about the song and say this song's very straight to the point, 2 minutes. Just this is what we did with the song. This is what it's about. Quick discussion about it, and then play the song.
That's it. If you're putting that much thought into it and you're putting that much work into it, and there's a lot to say about it, then, you know, get it out there.
And we do. Like I'd say a lot of our lyrics they're very deep. You know, we were a very depressive band for a while. And like the second EP we brought out, there was quite a lot about sort of suffering from anxiety and depression and stuff like that in there.
But it sounds like from the later songs you've managed to turn that into, well, fuck you, because here we are.
Oh yeah, no, we're a bunch of happy chaps now.
It's like, that was what happened, but now you've picked yourselves up and it's time to fucking kick some ass.
Yeah, we sort of went going, oh, we need to stop being, you know,
stop moping about.
Let's do something. Let's go political now and talk about Extinction.
Yeah.
No, I think we just like having a bit of fun with it now, you know.
Awesome.
And let's not get sort of too overburdened with, you know, all of this 5-year plan. I have it in my head. I have a binder.
Fucking right, man. You should like what do you call it? A vision chart, a vision wall. I mean, if you don't plan it, if you don't think of it, you're never gonna fucking do it.
We have a big whiteboard in the rehearsal room, and it's just the title on it is just "I Daves," and it's just where I turn around and go, "This is what we could do," and then I write it down. And everyone's looking, going, "Shush."
Fucking right, dude.
Get back over in that corner and play your guitar.
All that sounds fucking cool. I hope you actually go on to do that. You should go get the nice venue out in the middle of nowhere. Just get the laddies in a circle and Josh in the other room with his headphones on, and a dude with a camera.
Yeah.
And away you go.
And go.
And that's it. It's all you need.
Found the house. I know where it is. In Letterkenny.
Don't give too much away. Show your idea.
That's where I had my stag do, and I was like, that's sort of what gave me the idea for it. I went, ooh,
awesome.
Imagine if you did this. But anyway.
Brilliant. Any other collaborations? You talked there about doing like a documentary thing. What about like with videos, fashion, art, guest singers? Any collaboration?
We did
plans.
We did have a collaboration with an apparel company. And again,
cool.
this is where it got, they were called Prohibition Junction. Again, this is back in like 2020. But again, it was strange because they reached out to us, and again we hadn't played a show. They just had heard the music and they were very interested, and then they started doing like a line of merch for us, and you know,
Sweet.
They did all the graphics and stuff, and it was like Prohibition Junction with ForeignWolf, and again it was bizarre because we were like, do you think we're bigger than we are right now? I was like, because we've never played a show and you're offering us like a sort of like a collaboration merch deal thing. I was like, you know, we're definitely not them. There's better bands that used to do this, so
that's cool. So you just get offered a line of merch out of the blue.
It didn't last long. I mean, no. I think they did a hoodie and a t-shirt, and then
did you just get to say what items you wanted? Like,
oh yeah, no, they sent us like they sent us so many, like, because they had their own sort of apparel as well. So like they just sent us t-shirts, and it went down a point where it was kind of like, you know, I had sort of made the agreement going, okay, well, I'll wear this t-shirt when I'm playing. Yeah. But now that's not the case, because to be quite honest, I'd rather wear a Metal for Life t-shirt.
Yes.
And that is now what I just wear, because again, I was just like,
so you get comfortable like wearing your outfit
Yeah. Oh, I'm
you
wearing it
notice-
now. This doesn't change.
Everybody wears the same thing all the time. I like to try and go for as little as possible. Cut the sleeves off,
Yeah.
shorts off, the tiniest shorts and the tiniest top. Let's go. Be nearly nude.
Yeah. Scunt style.
Yeah. There's other dudes going out like full on hats, jackets. But if you look at everyone's photos all the time, just like Bart Simpson opens his wardrobe and there's like 20 of the same thing.
Yeah.
Everyone's just wearing slightly different variations of the
Man,
same
I
shit.
have 10 pairs of these, and they're all the same. As I just find I don't do fashion, so if I find something that it's always black,
Pick one look and go with it.
it's always this hat. You know, this this is the third iteration of this hat in the span of ForeignWolf, because once one just gets grubby and dead, I just go and once I found a hat that I liked, I bought 4 of them.
Yeah, that's
and then I just changed it. So this one's about ready to die, and then I'll get another one that looks the exact same.
off the bench.
Yeah.
Nice one, dude. Awesome. Well, Dave, dude, thanks so much for coming and
Thanks
talking
very
to us.
much for having me, man.
We've had a great evening here, learning all about ForeignWolf, what you have done before, what's yet to come, and all the fun you've had along the way doing it.
And how Dave can go off on tangents very easily.
And how fucking shit I am at getting recording devices to work. Awesome. But yes, dude, thanks a lot.
Awesome.
Been a great episode of the Rig Rundown. Next up, we've got Nomadis next week.
Sick.
So yeah, Freddie from
That's
Nomadis
another
is coming
band.
on.
That's another one.
It's another one.
They're
coming on.
sick. They're so
Yep.
good.
So we'll see everyone there for that.
Awesome.
Awesome. Thank you guys. Cheers.
Dude.
Bye-bye.
Bye.